All right, let's talk about fitness, but we're going to look at it through a totally different lens today. This is an approach that throws out the usual performance metrics and replaces them with a single idea: coherence. So instead of thinking about building a machine, imagine you're cultivating a living, breathing ecosystem. Let's jump right in.
This quote right here, this is the core of it all. It really sets the stage for this entire philosophy. We're talking about a massive shift in why we even move our bodies. It's not about how fast can I run or how much can I lift anymore. The new question is, how integrated can I be? It's a profound difference, right? It's about belonging to your body, to your environment, not just performing for a number on a screen.
Okay, so here's the game plan. First, we'll unpack this new philosophy. Then we'll get into the engine room, Zone 2 training. After that, we'll see where intensity fits in, what a week of this actually looks like, and wrap up by totally rethinking what progress even means.
All right, first section. This is all about the big mental shift. We're moving from seeing our bodies as a rigid machine to viewing them as a living ecosystem.
And this chart really nails the difference. On one side, you've got the rigid machine model. You know the one, a fixed plan, all about hitting performance goals. What happens? You burn out, right? Because it completely ignores how you're feeling or what's going on around you. But on the other side, the living ecosystem, that's a responsive pattern. The goal is coherence, not just performance. It's resilient because it actually adapts to you, your energy, the seasons, the whole 9 yards. So this word coherence keeps popping up. What does it actually mean? Well, think of it as harmony. It's the seamless integration of your body's systems, your mental state, and even your environment. It's that feeling when everything is just clicking. All your systems are working together smoothly. That's the goal, not just chasing another personal best.
Okay, so if coherence is the goal, how do we get there? Let's get into the engine room. We're going to talk about Zone 2, which is really the foundation for all of this, the key to long-term health.
This whole thing is built on a model called polarized training. And get this, it's what some of the world's top endurance athletes use. You'd think they go hard all the time, right? Nope. A whopping 80% of their time is spent at a really low, almost easy intensity. All the high-intensity stuff, that's just the final 20%. Kind of flips the script, doesn't it? So why spend all that time going slow? Because Zone 2 is where the real longevity magic happens. We're talking about building more mitochondria. Those are the tiny power plants inside your cells. It also teaches your body to become a super efficient fat-burning machine. This builds an enormous aerobic base that supports everything else, and, believe it or not, it actually helps calm your nervous system down. It's the quiet, invisible work that makes all the difference. Okay, let's make this practical. Look at this chart. If your max heart rate is, say, 185, your Zone 2 is going to be somewhere between 111 and 130. But honestly, forget the numbers for a second. The real test, it should feel like a conversational pace. You could chat with a friend without huffing and puffing. That's the sweet spot. And as you can see, the other zones have their place too, from super easy recovery right up to an all-out effort. Which, of course, brings us to that other 20%. If this is all about coherence, why go hard at all? Well, it's all about using stress strategically.
And this is the question everyone asks, right? If I spend most of my time going slow, am I gonna get, well, slow? Am I losing my edge? And the answer is a big, emphatic no.
I love this analogy. Think about intensity, your Zone 4 and 5 efforts. Not as a constant storm you have to endure every day. Think of it as a lightning strike in an ecosystem. It's a sudden, powerful, short-lived event. And what does it do? It signals the entire system to wake up, adapt, and get stronger. It's an absolutely vital jolt, for sure, but it's not where you live. So what do these lightning strikes actually look like? Well, we're talking about things like an overhead spiral bag flow. These are intense 1 to 5 minute bursts that build serious rotational power. Or maybe it's boxing sequences where you're channeling that expressive force. You can even just use the world around you, like doing hill spirals on a steep incline. The key here is that they are all purposeful, they're powerful, and they're short.
Okay, so we have the low-intensity base and the high-intensity peaks. How do we weave them together? Let's look at what a week might actually feel like. And remember, this is a flexible pattern, not a strict plan.
So one really cool concept is called movement stacking. Think of it like building a sandwich. Your base layer is that solid Zone 2 foundation. A weighted walk is a perfect example. Then you add your middle layer. That's your lightning strike, like a few minutes of that overhead bag flow. And finally, you add a top layer to bring it all together.
This is for integration and calming everything down. Think stick form or some yoga to settle your nervous system.
And this just shows you the beautiful contrast, right? You've got the weighted walk, long, rhythmic, almost meditative. That's your base building. Then you have the bag flow, a short, intense, powerful burst. One is the fertile soil, the other is the lightning. You absolutely need both for a thriving ecosystem.
Now, let's zoom out to the whole week. A simple pattern could be get in some of that foundational Zone 2 work pretty much daily. A few times a week, you layer in some strength, like a bodyweight circuit, and then once a week, maybe you go for a long, deep dive session to really build that endurance. But again, and this is so important, this is just a template. You listen to your body and adapt it to your life.
All right, let's bring this home. If the goal isn't a faster time or a heavier lift, then how in the world do you know if you're making progress? It means we have to completely redefine what progress even looks like.
In this system, progress is something you feel more than something you measure. It's when your movements just feel smoother, more coordinated. It's when you get better at listening to what your body is telling you. It's noticing you bounce back faster after a tough day. It's that amazing feeling when you cruise up a hill that used to destroy you. And maybe the biggest one of all, it's when you start to genuinely enjoy the act of moving and feel more at home in your own body.
And this just sums it all up perfectly. The point of the spiral isn't intensity, it's integration. Bringing everything together, your body, your breath, your mind, and your environment.
So I'll leave you with this question. What if your fitness wasn't a performance to be judged? What if it wasn't a test you had to pass? What if instead it was just a way to belong more deeply to your own life? Something to think about.